What if everything you know, everything you feel, is nothing more than an illusion designed to keep you in a state of denial? Have you ever stopped to wonder if the life you live is real? Or are you trapped in something much bigger without even realizing it? You wake up every day, follow your routine, talk to people, feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. But what if none of it is real? What if you have already passed? What if what you are experiencing now is just a distant echo of a life that has ended without anyone having the courage to tell you? Try to remember. What was the last thing you did before all this started? What happened before your routine began to feel repetitive, empty, disconnected? Can you recall the details of that moment, or is there only a void where your memories should be? Do you remember falling asleep? Or were you simply transported to this place, this state where everything seems like an illusion, yet nothing is clear enough for you to understand what is happening? The walls feel familiar, but something is different. The light doesn't cast shadows quite right. The air seems heavier, as if pressing down on you, reminding you that something isn't as it should be. The people around you, they seem so real, but do you truly know them? Do they see you as you are, or just as someone fulfilling a role? And you, are you really still here? Or has your body already vanished, leaving only a shadow behind? Have you noticed how they never quite meet your gaze? How their voices sound distant, as if carried by a fading echo? The days pass. The environment around you does not change, but something feels off, doesn't it? The sensation that time no longer follows the same flow, as if something has interrupted its natural sequence, trapping you in a cycle that will never end. Have you tried keeping track of the days? Have you noticed how the calendar never seems to move forward? Remember the last time you called out to someone and no one heard you? Or the strange feeling when you looked in the mirror and for a brief moment realized that the reflection did not move as it should, as if you were no longer part of the physical world but merely a projection of what you once were? The way your breath does not fog up the glass, the way your footsteps make no sound. Maybe it was just your imagination, or maybe it was the first crack in your perception of reality. Because what if you had already passed, but no one told you? What if you were trapped in an intermediate dimension between life and death without knowing it? An invisible prison where time repeats itself, but nothing truly moves forward. How long have you been here? Days, years, an eternity? And what if you never noticed? Because no one wanted you to? What happens when death arrives but you do not recognize it? When you find yourself in a kind of purgatory, a transition with no end but also no clear beginning? What if the memories you hold on to so desperately are nothing more than remnants, scraps of a past that no longer belongs to you? You feel loneliness, but it is unlike anything you have ever felt before. It is not the loneliness of being away from someone. It is the loneliness of being completely disconnected from the world, from reality, from yourself. It is the silence that answers your every call, the emptiness that surrounds you no matter where you turn. With each new day, something dissolves around you. Small details begin to disappear. Objects vanish. Sounds that once filled the air fade away. Scents that evoked memories become insipid, lacking any real substance. You realize little by little that the world around you is disappearing, as if being forgotten by something greater, as if your existence is being erased without you being able to stop it. The people, they no longer look at you. At first, you thought it was just distraction, but now you are certain. They do not see you. They do not hear you. You scream, but no sound comes out. You try to touch them, but your hands pass through, as if you were trying to reach something on the other side of a thick, invisible glass. Are you even real anymore, or are you nothing more than a lingering thought, a whisper lost in the wind? And then you start to wonder, what if you never realized you were dead because there was never a moment of farewell? No warning, no smooth transition, just the continuation of something that should have ended but did not. What if this endless wandering is all that remains for you? A loop with no exit, a cycle with no conclusion. The feeling of being trapped in a cycle intensifies, as if time is not linear, but something beyond your control. Your memory fades, and you no longer know if what you feel is genuine or just a remnant of something that once was. How many times have you had this same realization, only to forget it moments later? You try to remember a face, a name, a memory that could bring you back to reality. But all that remains are distorted fragments like reflections in a shattered mirror. Nothing fits. Nothing makes sense. Even your own name feels unfamiliar, slipping away the moment you try to grasp it. Time continues to dissolve. You no longer know if it has been a day or a century since you began to notice, but now the truth is there, naked and cruel before you. You are not alive. You never have been, not since that forgotten moment in time when everything stopped. The only question that remains is, what happens now? Maybe you will stay here, repeating the same gestures, the same words, without realizing that you no longer have a body, no longer have life. Just a memory, a wandering shadow, a ghost lost in the remnants of a life long gone. Or maybe, just maybe, it is time to accept it and finally move on. But can you? Do you even know how? Or will you linger here forever, waiting for an answer that will never come? The fog thickens. The world around you dims. You take a step forward, unsure of where it leads. And then, for the first time in what feels like an eternity, you feel something different. Not the weight of being forgotten, not the silence of isolation, but a pull, subtle, distant, yet unmistakable. Is this the way out, or just another illusion in an endless cycle? Only you can decide, but hurry before you are lost completely.